Today, we're going to look at the Quran's longest chapter, Surah Al-Baqarah, through a completely different lens. What if it's not just a collection of verses, but something much, much more? We're diving into the work of scholar Rafat al-Masri, who makes a fascinating case that it's actually a powerful, cohesive blueprint for building a society.
Al-Masri kicks off his whole analysis with this really powerful observation. He looks out at the world today and sees a kind of paradox, a global community of believers who, in his view, are missing that collective sense of purpose, that shared societal framework. It's a pretty compelling problem, and it hooks you right from the start. You see, this feeling of fragmentation is the central challenge Al-Masri is trying to tackle. He's describing a community that has this incredible shared heritage, but maybe not a shared destination in the modern world. It's like being adrift on this vast ocean, without a compass to point the way forward.
So that's the big question, isn't it? If a community feels like it's lost its compass, where does it even begin to look for one? Well, according to Al-Masri, the answer isn't some new invention. He argues it was revealed over 1,400 years ago, at a very specific, very critical moment in history.
And the context here is absolutely crucial. Surah Al-Baqarah wasn't just revealed all at once in a single moment. Al-Masri points out that its verses came down over a 10-year span, precisely as the very first Muslim community was taking shape in Medina. This wasn't some abstract text. He suggests it was more like a real-time instruction manual for a society being built from the ground up.
And this is the core of his argument. Al-Masri's central claim is that this surah was the divine answer to that exact problem of community building. It wasn't just another chapter in the Quran, it was the chapter, the foundational blueprint that was meant to guide individuals into becoming a cohesive society with a clear mission.
Okay, so if it's a blueprint, what kind of blueprint are we talking about here? How does the author actually define its purpose? What's its ultimate goal?
And this is his answer. It's brilliant.
Al-Masri presents Surah Al-Baqarah as a constitution for stewardship. Now that's a powerful metaphor, right? He's not talking about a constitution for a state in the modern sense of the word, but a constitution for a community's entire way of life, its purpose and its mission here on earth.
At the very heart of this constitution is this one concept, Al-Istikhlaf, or stewardship. The author defines this as the ultimate mission given to humanity, going all the way back to the story of Adam. It's this profound responsibility to act as a trustee or a vicegerent on earth, with the goal of establishing a just and righteous civilization. This is the why behind the entire blueprint.
So, if this surah is a constitution, then what are its articles? What are its key pillars? Well, Al-Masri breaks it all down, showing us the essential pillars required to fulfill this grand mission of stewardship.
And here they are, the core pillars he identifies. It all starts with belief, or iman, as the absolute foundation. From there, you get the rituals that unify the community, things like prayer and fasting. But it goes way further. It provides a structure for the family, which he calls society's very first building block. Then it expands out to laws for social and economic life. And finally, he points to the principles for what he calls struggle, or jihad, the collective effort to defend the community and uphold its values. It's a complete, totally integrated system.
But here's the thing. According to Al-Masri, none of these articles, none of these pillars can actually work without the one foundational principle holding it all together. And that principle is total, unquestioning obedience to the divine command. That's the engine that makes this entire constitution function.
And to make this point crystal clear, the author highlights this incredible contrast right there in the surah itself. On one hand, you have the believers, who are shown as the example of submission. But then, you get this cautionary tale of the Israelites in the story of the cow, where their constant hesitation and their endless questioning are presented as the exact opposite, the very antithesis of that spirit of stewardship. It's a stark lesson on the difference between immediate obedience and reluctance.
So, what does all of this mean for us, right here, right now? Well, the analysis concludes by stressing that this isn't just some historical artifact. The whole argument is that this blueprint is actually a living, breathing document.
And that brings us to the ultimate takeaway from Al-Masri's work. He presents this constitution of stewardship as a timeless, repeatable roadmap. It's a model that any generation, anywhere in the world, can potentially use to find its own compass and build a community that's grounded in a real sense of divine purpose.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty thought-provoking question.
If Surah Al-Baqarah really is this grand blueprint for a society with a mission of stewardship, just as Rafa al-Masri argues, then who today is meant to be the architect? Who is meant to pick up this constitution and start building?